Welcome to Daily Crypto episode 18. Today we're going to dive into, well, the latest buzz in the crypto market. We'll look at some prices, key stories, you know, the usual pulse check.
Sounds good. Yeah, it feels like a pretty interesting moment. Lots of different things pulling the market in different directions.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get a quick snapshot of the majors. Bitcoin, wow, $87,393.
Yeah, pushing up there.
Ethereum's at $1,643.26. BNB, $603.87.
Okay.
Solana, $140.27. And XRP sitting at $2.13.
XRP still kind of hovering there.
Yeah. And then the meme coins. Always got to check those. Shiba Inu, 2.000000077.
Right.
Pepe, 0.00000001.
Oh, interesting. Parity there.
Yeah. And Dog with Hat, 0.441152. And Popcat, 0.253501. So, quite the range.
It really shows you the spectrum, doesn't it? From the big established names down to the pure sentiment plays sometimes.
Definitely sentiment. And speaking of what's grabbing attention, Solana, Donald Trump, and Cardano are all trending right now. Quite a mix.
That is a mix. Solana, well, that's almost constant, right? With all the activity on the network,
Sure.
Trump, that always brings in the political angle, potential policy stuff,
And Cardano.
Cardano's got that dedicated community, always watching the tech roadmap, the updates. They're loyal.
Gotcha. Now, here's a number that jumped out at me. Crypto wagers in gaming apparently generated over $81 billion in revenue in 2024.
81 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's despite all the legal hurdles and gray areas.
That's the really striking part, isn't it? Doing that volume with the current constraints. It really shows the demand from gamers wanting to use crypto.
Makes you wonder what it could be without those barriers.
Exactly. Faster transactions, maybe new kinds of in-game ownership. Lots of possibilities.
Okay, shifting slightly. Gold just hit a new all-time high, $3,390. So the inevitable question comes up. Bitcoin, digital gold. Does it follow suit?
The million-dollar question, or maybe the $87,000 question right now.
Yeah.
They both get seen as hedges, safe havens sometimes. But Bitcoin has its own internal dynamics too, right?
Yeah.
Adoption, supply shocks.
True. So maybe some correlation, but not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed at all. Gold's rally might support the store of value idea, but Bitcoin marches to its own drum a lot of the time.
Right. Okay, now for some strong opinions. Plan B, the stock-to-flow model guy.
Oh, yeah, know the name.
He came out swinging, called Ethereum a pre-mined shitcoin. Pretty blunt.
Whoa! Okay, yeah, that's direct.
Doesn't leave much room for interpretation.
No kidding. That usually boils down to the whole initial distribution debate, doesn't it? Bitcoin's mining versus Ethereum's ICO. Fairness, perceived fairness.
Yeah, sparks a lot of tribalism, that stuff.
Definitely. Okay, moving to something more functional. The founder of Synthetics is apparently urging stakers to do something about SUSD. It's depegged.
The stablecoin problem, not holding its dollar peg.
Exactly. And when a stablecoin isn't stable, well, that's kind of its main job, right?
Yeah, kind of defeats the purpose, so they need the community to step in.
Seems like it. Highlights the challenges in DeFi, Keeping those complex systems balanced, it's not always easy.
Definitely not. Okay, on a brighter note for one specific coin, HYPE's price chart is looking bullish. Some chatter about it heading towards $20.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a good reminder that even when the big guys are consolidating, individual altcoins can still catch a wave based on their own news or, chart patterns.
Shows the diversity of the market.
For sure, always opportunities and risks popping up.
Now, big news, potentially brewing in the Ethereum world. Vitalik Buterin proposed something radical, replacing the EVM with RISC-V.
Yeah, that's a pretty fundamental idea. RISC-V, it's a different kind of instruction set architecture, more modern, open source.
And the goal is scalability.
That seems to be the main driver, yeah. Potentially big performance gains, maybe make it easier for different kinds of developers to build on Ethereum. It's a huge what if right now.
Yeah, the Ethereum Foundation's new co-exec has responded.
Apparently so. Their reaction will be key to see how seriously this gets taken. It's not a small change, obviously.
Not at all. Okay, switching gears completely. Solana's Meatbags project, NFTs, to buy a Cold War bunker.
Yeah, I saw that one too. You really can't make this stuff up sometimes, can you?
It's certainly creative.
It perfectly captures the wild and weird side of NFTs, right? Using digital assets for this very tangible, kind of quirky, real-world goal.
Definitely memorable. Okay, quick recap of some other things. Strategy added more Bitcoin, like 3,459 more.
Still stacking sats, or rather stacking whole coins. Institutional confidence holding steady there, it seems.
Kraken is expanding stocks and Forex coming to the platform.
Interesting move. Broadening their base, competing maybe more directly with traditional brokers.
And the SEC dropped its case against cyberkunks.
Oh, that's potentially significant for the NFT space. Maybe gives a little bit of clarity or at least relief on the regulatory front for some projects.
Yeah, mixed bag of news there. But then a more sobering story out of El Salvador. Reports say most of those Bitcoin businesses that popped up, they've quietly vanished.
Oof. Yeah, that's concerning. It really underscores how hard it is to actually implement Bitcoin as, day-to-day legal tender on a national scale.
Suggests maybe the initial hype didn't match the practical realities for businesses on the ground.
It seems that way. Infrastructure, education, volatility, lots of hurdles for small businesses there. It's a tough transition.
We're also seeing some interesting opinion pieces. One talks about bias in financial AI and suggests blockchain could help, like for transparency.
Yeah, that's a fascinating idea. Using that immutable ledger to audit AI decisions, maybe make them fairer, especially in finance. That's critical.
And another piece arguing AI might flatten creativity, but blockchain, maybe through NFTs, could save it, preserve ownership and value.
Also a really important discussion. As AI gets better at creating content, how do human creators protect their work, their value? Blockchain's ownership model could be part of the answer.
Interesting angles. Okay, let's talk potential investments, though always with a big grain of salt.
Absolutely. Huge grain of salt required.
Some partner content is pointing to SOL, Lightchain AI, and XRP for potential highs in May.
Okay. Specific calls.
And another asking if XYZverse, a sports meme coin, could be the next Dogecoin.
The eternal quest for the next Dogecoin.
Haha, right. And then you've got experts naming potential millionaire makers, Cardano, Pepe, Shiba Inu, Lightchain AI again.
It shows the appetite is still there, isn't it? For finding that lottery ticket coin. But yeah, extremely high risk with those kinds of picks. Research is key.
Definitely. On the Dogecoin front, data says 72% of holders are long. Strong belief there.
Wow, 72%. That's a lot of HO dealers. Shows the power of that community, but also maybe concentration risk if sentiment turns.
And technically speaking, a pattern that supposedly preceded a Doge surge is now showing up on Pepe's chart.
The technical analysts are buzzing then. Patterns can be useful, self-fulfilling sometimes, but yeah, never a guarantee. Past performance and all that.
Right. Okay, zooming out again. Is Bitcoin at a crossroads? Crypto winter looming? Or are we setting up for a rebound? Market feels kind of tense.
It does feel like it's coiling, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That period of consolidation, lower volatility, often precedes a bigger move. Which way, though? That depends on macros, regulation, adoption, the whole picture.
Yeah, waiting game. In the, let's say, further corners of the market, Pi Network's apparently fading, while some presale called Yeti RO is getting attention.
That happens fast in the altcoin and presale world, right? Attention shifts like lightning. Highlights the risk, especially with presales. Due diligence is paramount there.
And maybe related, an article suggests smart traders are sticking to proven, established platforms right now, given the uncertainty.
Makes sense. When things get choppy, you want reliability, security. You gravitate towards the platforms you trust, the ones that have weathered storms before.
Right. Then you get the other side. Claims from people who apparently made millions on SHIB, saying some of the meme coin is going to do 100x.
Haha. Yeah, always those claims. Exciting to hear, but gotta be super skeptical, right? 100x is rare and usually involves insane risk.
No kidding. People are also looking back at XRP's history, wondering if it can still make millionaires, even though it dipped to $1.64 set recently.
XRP's journey has been eventful. Big climbs, big falls. Its future is so tied up with the legal stuff and actual adoption for payments, millionaire potential. Highly speculative.
And the SHIB whales, big holders, are reportedly eyeing some new viral crypto. Predictions of a 10,000% rally.
10,000%. The numbers just get bigger. Whale movements can definitely impact price, especially on smaller coins, but chasing those pumps is risky business. Very risky.
Yeah, sounds like it. And related, another new crypto priced super low at Liber007 is apparently being accumulated quietly by some early SHIB winners.
See, that's that rotation, right? Profits from one speculative play moving into the next potential one. It's a constant cycle in that part of the market.
Okay, let's just quickly revisit some key things we touched on. That $81 billion in crypto gaming revenue.
Yeah, huge adoption signal despite the legal fuzziness.
Plan B's very direct take on Ethereum
The pre-mine debate continues. Strong opinions there.
and the Synthetics SUSD DPEG needing community help.
Right, a real-world DeFi challenge playing out. Shows the complexities.
But also lots of building happening. HYPE's bullish outlook.
Individual projects finding momentum.
Vitalik's RISCV proposal for Ethereum potentially shaking things up.
Yeah, a fundamental architectural idea to watch.
And growth in platforms like Rithys Miner and Meta Earth surpassing 1 million users.
User adoption is always a key metric. Shows broadening reach. Modular blockchain getting traction there too.
And things like Cables trying to build better on-chain communities.
Yeah.
Quebetics hitting big pre-sale numbers. Paris Blockchain Week setting milestones. The infrastructure and community keep growing.
Definitely. Efforts to build utility, connect people, and just keep the innovation engine running. Events are crucial for that collaboration.
Looking forward, we've got code and country at Bitcoin 2025.
Interesting theme. Merging tech and national identity.
Binance Wallet integrating ChainGPT AI tools.
AI and Web3 converging. That's a major trend. Enhancing the user experience.
Dealflow DIN back at Istanbul Blockchain Week.
Connecting startups and investors, vital.
And reports of earnings via XY miners for XRP, DOGE, Pi investors. Plus specialized forums like Blockchain Forum, Moscow, and Terra Forum tackling asset management, energy.
Yeah, it really shows blockchain's potential applications are broadening way beyond just currency, right? Into energy, asset management, all sorts of industries.
Absolutely. The space just keeps evolving. Join Daily Crypto for more real-time market updates.